Happy Monday, darlings. So, we are back for another review, albeit snarky review, of Love is Blind Season 6's Episode 9. And it is 18 days till the wedding, darlings. And Amy and Johnny, still cute with each other. So, I really hope they have made progress with their speed bump, the contraceptive issue and having babies too soon. I really hope that they have. I really want to see them gallop into the sunset hand in hand and have a fabulous family moving forward. So, anyway, it's the day after the blow up between Jimmy and Chelsea. And last we saw, Jimmy was leaving for his own apartment so can have some space. And does he need it, honey? Does he need it? And so we see him back in the apartment with Chelsea. And honestly, Chelsea was still harping on her feelings being hurt and being confused by Jimmy's clingy comment. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to introspect and to understand that some of our reactions and or emotional outbursts are going to potentially be processed in somebody else's mind and somebody else's psyche as that of being clingy. Like, at least he just said clingy, right? And he stopped himself there. Ooh, OMG. Anyhow, girl, Chelsea, you need to grow up. Like, grow the fuck up. Your insecurity is not cute. It hasn't been for a few episodes now. So get with the program already. She needs to learn to listen to hear and understand versus interrupting Jimmy when he's speaking to her so they can both converse and speak on their feelings openly and without judgment. In the end, thank goodness she accepts that she needs to work on her emotions. Thankfully, hopefully, this is going to be true moving forward. And in being sensitive or, being overly sensitive, according to her, she's fully aware. So the question begs to be asked, why haven't we seen that? Anyway, but she also wants Jimmy to be cognizant of his tone and choice of words. From what I have seen or, on the screen, Jimmy has almost full control of his tone, almost. I mean, there's scenes where you see him struggling to keep the tone even, but that was like, when he found out that Jessica, his number one, has a young child, that when he first saw Chelsea, those sort of things. But I can't recall in any of the episodes where Jimmy has actually raised his tone to an alarming level. I'm just saying something like Calais has done. And I digress. So I just want to say, Chelsea, if the shoe fits, I'm just saying. Jimmy does say he loves Chelsea so much more now that he's met her friends. Okay. You know what? You do you. Well, at least there's progress with these two for now, because we know that green-eyed monster and Chelsea doesn't like peas very much. I'm just saying. As for Laura and Jeremy, it is time to meet Laura's family, and of course, she's quite nervous about it. Like, would her parents like Jeremy, or would they get an ick vibe from him, or would they get the vibe of we're just gonna go through the motions, but we don't actually like him? I mean, it's always quite disorienting when meeting the family of your partner for the first time and vice versa, and especially in a situation like this where everything is hyper speed. Your adrenaline is going to be going and the verbal diarrhea just might begin. But hey, this is not Laura's first rodeo. So I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure she's like her past relationships. She's had them meet her parents and her family. So obviously outside of the pods. While outside were her mom and sister, Laura does, or Laura's mom, they share that Jeremy and Laura seem to speak to each other tersely at times. And she's worried that it might become an issue. Well, if only Laura's mom knew the extent of the turbulence beneath the surface between her daughter and Jeremy. Although Laura did share with her family in front of Jeremy, of course, that she's in the love triangle with another person that Jeremy used to like, but he selected Laura. I mean, I cringed when Laura brought that up. Like, for me, that would be like a light bulb moment if I was a relative of Laura's meeting Jeremy's for the first time. I will have always noted that in my head, even if I like the person, my child or my like family member will be marrying. I'm not kidding. It will always be like a stain for me in my memory for that person. As for Jeremy, why do I get the feeling that if he doesn't already have her in mind to have in mind to say no at the altar, he probably would call it quits before they get closer to it. Which is what, only 18 days left. So next, we see Amy and Johnny, who are at a dance hall about to get their dance lessons on. They're getting lessons in bachata. OMG, I can't stop laughing at Johnny's attempts, but hey, look, they are still my number one couple. My lord, I hope they go off into the sunset. I say that about these two all the time. I feel like, after they marry and have a fabulous life, I do wish that for them. Now we have AD and Clay walking into a restaurant and it's raining. So naturally, there's an umbrella in AD's hand, but why is she holding the umbrella? Like, Clay didn't even offer to hold it, didn't feel like holding it for her. I mean, AD had to give him the umbrella just so she can open the door. I mean, like, Clay? What the hell, dude? Anyway, they're there to meet with Clay's mother and sister, who his sister used to work at a nightclub. His sister seems to be very straightforward but reserved. She asked specific questions but wasn't eagerly involved in the banter either. Maybe she's been through this with Clay before, so she's staying in the background for the most part, just kind of like observing, taking notes. Who knows? Clay's mother does seem friendlier. She's warmer towards AD, who even offered AD her stole because AD said she was freezing. When Clay was sitting across from AD with a sweater on, didn't offer or bother to offer his sweater to AD. Like, what the fuck, Clay? Wow. AD, design it, girl. My girl, design it. Why are you still putting up with this shit? AD does open up about Clay's seemingly open schedule. He doesn't have a set schedule, so it could be like a 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 or whatever is convenient and comfortable for, what he has to accomplish work-wise. And she feels like he chooses to do She chooses to do convenient and comfortable things rather than making an effort to spend more time with her in the apartment outside of work. Like, she's fully aware of his dreams to build his empire and is supportive, but does want to see more effort from Clay to make time for her as well. For his part, Clay says, once AD actually does return to work, this will no longer be an issue, and she'll be also working an open schedule of sorts because she's a real estate. She sells real estate. She also works at a nightclub as a VIP or what is it? Accounts something. But he explains that there's going to be times where he will be needed to make early preps for his rental properties, which is like over an hour away or so. So AD, for her part, she does say she understands that, but she digs her feet in to remind Clay that work has never been the issue. She appreciates and supports his hustle, but she wants to also be a priority in his life versus second fiddle to his dreams. And boy, wow, when she said that, Clay's tone changed. Like, whoa, whoa. His mother even had to take a sip or whatever she was drinking because, ooh, child, she felt that shift, honey. Clay's mom advises AD that she has to try and understand his work schedule. And as for Clay, he needs to remember that if someone is important, you'll always make a way. So she gave advice to both. And she also added that if the love is there, you always make the time, period. She adds that marriage is a sacred institution, of course, and that it is, as we all know, hard. I feel bad for his mother though, because if you guys can recall, Clay had said that in his formative years, his father had cheated on his mother while they were still legally married plenty of times, and oftentimes he would bring Clay with him to go on these like trysts with people. Yeah. Yeah. I'm oof. And I believe up until this point, she still didn't know that her husband had been philandering throughout their marriage before they divorced. I'm sure, though, if she watches the entire show, she will certainly know. And oh, what a way to learn, though. Ugh. I hope she finds the courage to heal and to forgive when the news reaches her. Hugs to you, Mama Clay. Then we have Chelsea and Jimmy, of course. We're going to meet with Jimmy's best gal pals, and they seem to like Chelsea, so that's a good thing. And doesn't give her much of a hard time, as she was probably like thinking in her head or imagining. So overall, Jimmy's friends' verdicts, they like Chelsea. And they like Chelsea for Jimmy. So there you go. Yay. That's a win, right? Next is Johnny's sisters to meet him and Amy in their shared apartment. The girls love Amy. I mean, they are, they kind of remind me of, what's this now? Chelsea's like roommates. Yeah. You know, like they're very excited. Her friends are very excited. So that's the kind of energy that they brought, Johnny's sisters. And they're both loving Amy. They're excited for the two to be married. They're very supportive of both Amy and Johnny, particularly for Johnny because they know their brother well and they approve all the way. His sisters share that Johnny deserves good things. And I feel like maybe, you know, they have seen him in some relationships where he wasn't as happy or he wasn't as sure or something. And so, anyway, they're very happy for him. You see that Amy feels like the one for him. So, to which Amy says, hey, she's ready for the wedding. I love it. I love it. I love it. But, Love is Blind, season 6, isn't without drama because, you know, damn near every single one of these episodes have some kind of drama scene. Now, wouldn't it? Ooh, I was not expecting this one. So the scene unfolds with Jeremy on his phone, sitting cross-legged and looking like he's just stolen from a bank. Well, at least his body language is stiff and defensive. Like he's about to get scolded for I don't know what. Eating an extra cookie. I don't know. Well, now we have Laura. Comes out. I don't know where she came from, but she was in the apartment somewhere. She comes into her screen, sits across from him on the couch, and you could tell these two did not have a good night together. Laura is in her element. She is in her, I am the lawyer and you are my witness. Or you're like, you know, the defense's witness or something, and you're going to be cross-examined by me. Something to that effect. Why? Because she is commanding how this conversation is going to go. She starts by asking Jeremy if he was going to keep sunglasses in the house because she knows she needs to see his eyeballs to see if he's hiding something or lying about something or both. And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, what the heck happened? What the heck happened? So she begins to lay out that he left at 10:45 the night before. 10:45 p.m. the night before, and didn't get back until after 5 p.m. Oh, 5 a.m. Like, oh, whoa. Okay. What time did the bar close? I'm just saying. So she obviously she wanted answers, and she wanted to hear from them. To hear from Jeremy. Like, now. Jeremy. Dude, you look suspiciously guilty right now, bro. Like, haven't you met Laura? You better come with the minute to minute timestamp of your night, dude. Because in all honesty, it's ridiculous that he was out that late without notifying his fiance, who he lives with. Imagine if the unthinkable had happened, like while he was out. I'm just saying. I mean, it's not a phone call you want to ever get. Can I just add that Jeremy looks like the kid who stayed out past his curfew and now has to face the wrath of his mom? I'm sorry. I just had to say that, okay? Anyway, back to this. It seemed that Jeremy had gone out to a local bar, aptly called Lost and Found. Ooh, child. And for a few hours, he certainly was lost. Potentially canoodling with his other pod love interest, Sarah Ann. And then was found by Laura after she woke up to find him still not home. But he had previously shared his location, so it was determined that, bro, if you're gonna stay out and meet up with your ex love interest, that's just shady behavior. Yeah, because Laura found out that he was nowhere near where that bar was, or in the immediate area where that bar was, or anywhere near. He was like, what, an hour away or so, where his ex love interest actually lives. So shady behavior from you, Jeremy. Damn. What the hell is up with the waters around here? First Kenny, then we have Jeremy acting foolish now too. Holy hell. And his questions to Laura, pretending not to know what kind of shit Laura has had to deal with. Like, sir, you didn't exactly tell Sarah Ann that you're happy in your relationship with Laura when she DM'd you the first time. Or did you already forget that? Like, how quickly you forget. Laura is correct that he had not taken the initiative to shut down that mess before it began. But, he likely kept that door open as like a backup in case shit hits the fan with Laura. Like, dude, trying to get upset with Laura about checking your location isn't going to make this better either. That's not your get out of jail card. No. She already knew you were nowhere near the area you said you were. This guy. And the cherry on top of this day, Laura was supposed to meet with Jeremy's mother, but she decided to quit that shit. And why shouldn't she bet on her? I mean, girl, cut the loss and go. Do better and choose better. Serious. And we end that episode with that cliffhanger. Does Laura actually quit her relationship with Jeremy, or do they give it another go? And from the previews of the upcoming episode, it is all kinds of juicier yet to come. So, darlings, I shall see you in episode 10. I think it's dropping in a couple of days. So, until then, stay fabulous, because you're all kinds of fabulous. And remember to leave grace for others, even though it's super, super hard. And to always journey in gratitude. I shall see you, darlings, later. Again, in the next episode, and hopefully we all enjoy ourselves, because why not, right? Why not? Toodaloo for now, darlings. Bye.